Hi, I'm Adam, also known as Night&Day. And 20 years ago, I started a business to help seniors and also connect with the seniors and also the senior community in Orange County. 25 years ago, I lost my mom to cancer, um, and she was someone who was just a bright light in my life. I'm not saying she was perfect, but she was someone who I aspired to be. She had so many great qualities about her that I adored and admired. Um, Even if I didn't have, being her son, I had some of those qualities, but definitely not all of them. And one of her favorite qualities was just her kindness and her ability to deal with tough situations and put a positive spin on it. She went back to school at a later age to become a psychologist. And she tried to pass on to me just some of the lessons that she had learned. Lost her mom at an early age, which really, affected her in a lot of ways. But the way she was able to kind of turn that into positivity was just something that I aspired to. So 5 years later, when I kind of got into the same situation again, and it was my dad with cancer. My parents had been divorced at a very young age, so my dad moved out to California. He's not someone who was in my life a lot, but again, he wasn't not there either. I just think that distance, when you're that far apart, it's hard to have that close relationship. But after losing my mom and then now having to face the reality of, losing him, I just did some soul searching and decided, you know, I still wanted that connection of family in my life. I was alone and single at the time, and, I didn't have a purpose or didn't have a goal or something that I really was aspired to. I just didn't have that light inside of me that, I think some of us at different times in our life feel. When you just have that passion, desire to do something, and even though if it's tough, you can kind of use that as the wind to push you forward. Sorry. But so I moved out to California to kind of be with my dad at the end, and he had this little business of selling supplies to seniors, or just being there for seniors is the way I looked at it. It started with my grandma, who he actually moved out here when she got sick to take care of, which to me was kind of impressive because he was someone that he ran away from when he was 15 because she had a lot of her own issues, things that people didn't discuss back then, but she had a lot of mental health issues. She was schizophrenic and bipolar, and it just created, when no one's going to talk about it, it created a lot of issues. I think it's kind of how my dad ended up here alone in certain ways, and it's probably like that pattern of how I ended up here. So I came out here to spend time with my dad towards the end and take over this business. I just felt like I needed something to hold on to, something I knew, because when he passed away, I was going to be out here alone. I was going to be running a business I didn't know, selling products I didn't know, but I just had this faith and belief that if I, did something good, wasn't focused on myself and focused on seniors and the senior community and just trying to be the best I can and show up every day, just consistent and just work my tail off, and just kind of work through all my anxieties, all my fears, and try to just stay in the moment as much as possible and try to just do something good that maybe I could connect with people, and maybe I can kind of honor my parents and honor myself by doing something that would, kind of feel right inside of me, kind of bring back that light inside of me, and along the way, I think you there's struggles, but I think, along the way, as long as you try to find the positives and, try to just push forward, along the way, people will come and help, and you realize just how important community and connections are, that, no one's going to do anything for you, but people are going to help, they're going to listen, especially if you're doing right by them. I think you're just can find your place in the world and find your place in life. And I think more than anything, I guess that's what I've done the best, is kind of like establish myself out here. I've been out here, like I said, for 20 years. I have a family of my own now, which if you would have told me 20 years ago, I thought was probably impossible. But at this point, I think I've done as much as I physically can do for you guys. I was just there, like I said, every day, just pushing, driving, probably drove 1 million miles. I've been delivered 1 million boxes, face to face. I just, was able to kind of relate what people were going through, whether that was the person who was wearing the product, or whether that was the person helping the person wearing the product, whether because it was a family member or it was a nurse. I just, I think just working with working people and just seeing, the amazingness in people and how people can get through situations and handle situations with such class and be able to push through and not always be focused on themselves and their problems. It just taught me so many things. I've learned so much just being around, the seniors and the community around them. It takes a village. It's not one person. Even with us running a small business out of a van with a phone, I needed to count on a lot of people. You need products, you need supplies, you need a lot of things to go well for you. And a lot of the time they don't, and you're just adjusting and figuring things out on the fly. And I don't know, I feel like that's how I've always related to, seniors. I just saw how much them and their families were going through, and just, what a great life it can be. And, sometimes to the end, it's, it's how you look at it. I prefer to kind of celebrate what people have done and enjoy, a life lived. And so I've always just wanted to be there. And that's kind of what I've established, is a company that I know that when I put my head on the pillow at night, we have products that you need. We're a resource that you need. I look at you as kind of my family. You called and I showed up because that's what I signed up to do. I wanted to do this job. I wanted this. No one forced this on me. I wanted to do something that I could kind of be proud of, and just be like a kinder, nicer person, and, be able to handle situations, whatever they are, in a good, positive way, and, not be down on myself, not beat myself up, just kind of, stay the course. And so, I don't know. I just know that life is tough at times. It comes at you in waves, and how you handle those waves, kind of define how things go. And so, yeah, I know it's kind of like sounds stupid, or it doesn't seem like it means much. But when you hit that crossroad and you do need those products, and you're older, or you're taking care of families, and you got 1,000 things to deal with, for me, just that someone could like either pick up the phone back in the day and call me, or now they could just go to visit our website and just know like, hey, someone's here from us. And then I think every time they've kind of tried our products, they just kind of, without saying anything, you kind of know like, hey, we're doing something good, because our products are meant to fit. They're meant to be soft. They're meant to do what they're intended to do, in life. So many times, like, people say they're doing something, but they're not doing what they what they claim they're doing, or the thought behind what they're doing is not really what it should be, the focus. And my focus has definitely always been on you and me and my parents, and like all the people who came before me, and all the like great, people who have supported me, who might no longer be here or are going through their own struggles. And I just always wanted to be like a source of, kind of inspiration, or at least be able to share my vulnerabilities and what I've been through, and kind of humanize them, and just tell you like, hey, it's it's gonna be all right, or even I guess if that's not, but maybe in the moment it could be all right, or just knowing the fact that, sometimes that someone's just there for you, someone actually cares, even if it's just anybody. There were days that I would be doing so many deliveries and not knowing why or where this was going, and just somebody, asking me how I was doing, or opening up a door for me, something small, something little, just a kind of random kind act was just all I kind of needed. I hate to say, when things aren't going well, you're not looking for these. Sometimes you're just looking for the smallest things. So I don't know. I think this is more than that. But I also don't think it's, unless you're in the situation, I don't know if it's going to mean much. But so that's why I would like to be able to connect with people and show them how I kind of deal with all the shit and piss that comes at you in life. And I guess that's why I'm the Diaper Don. I'm just somebody who's just going to be in the background. I'm going to do what I have to do. I'm going to try to do it the best I can. I'm going to try to have a purpose and a meaning behind it. And I'm definitely trying to connect with you. So, I know sometimes you have to take a step or a leap, but, I think that's what this whole journey has been for me, just taking one foot in front of the other, having faith in, something I didn't have. If you don't have any faith, if you don't have hope, it's hard. It could be really hard. And sometimes to kind of find that and try not to like put that on somebody else, to try to find it from within, and not count on somebody else to always inspire you, is hard. It's hard. So I'm not here to make it sound, I'm actually, not here to be depressing or Debbie Downer. I'm actually here to do the opposite. I know we go through hard times, and I just want to make it a little bit better. And like I said, if you're in this situation, you deserve more. There's, at least at night, when you're kind of could be alone and with your thoughts, I don't know. I don't want to feel that people feel they're left behind or alone. I don't know. That's just not the way I choose or want to see the world, even though I know that's the world we live in. But if I could do something positive and show my kids that, and my family, like, hey, sometimes the reward's just the positivity of things and doing the right thing and just feeling good within. That's what I would like to share. That's what I would like to pass on. I think we all get sometimes wrapped up in our own life and our own shit that we just forget to stop, look around, kind of smell the roses, enjoy the people we have around us, and feel so blessed and lucky to, that we just get to show up every day. I think that's really what I saw more than anything, through all of this, is just I get the night and day. That's the name of the company. I get to show up night and day, try to do the best I can, and hope people, will find us and relate to us. And I look forward to kind of sharing with you more, and just kind of, letting you know what I've seen, how I feel, but also just trying to put like not a positive spin on things, try to put a positive perspective, because you're in the situation you're in. Nothing's going to change that at the moment, and so how do we go about, building ourselves up when we do get knocked down, we do get, spun around, or we get twisted. Like, how do you untwist? And sometimes all you need is just someone to point you in the right direction. We sometimes get so protective and so close-minded, that our worst fear, our worst night, something bad's gonna happen, that we can't kind of react in the moment and kind of know, hey, just take a breath, relax, one step at a time. There are people there for you. There are people who feel the same way. There's a lot of people going through the same type of adversity and things. And, how do we, kind of be able to express that and show our vulnerability, but also gain strength from that, be stronger from doing that, not just burden somebody with our vulnerabilities or our what's going on in our life, but actually, ask someone for maybe help, and then also help them along the way, and maybe they don't want that, and that's fine. But, like, not just want to be inspired, but also want to inspire people. It's kind of, night and day. I just love that yin and yang kind of, there's two sides to everything, there's, like I said, there were the positives of this job and there's the negatives, and same thing with getting old, there's the positives and the negatives, and it's just how you're going to want to look at it and how you're going to want to deal with it. That's just going to separate what kind of situation you're in. And, life is life. I don't know. We don't control a lot of things, but there are things we can control. And, I think we control sometimes how we feel and the choices we make, we definitely control. And, I just want to put the positive on something that's probably people don't look at as positive. And that's really it. I don't have a connection to this product other than I want you to know that if you feel it, it's soft. If you know that it's meant to fit, that it's comfortable. I don't know. I want people to have those things. I don't, call me crazy, but I think I want those things for myself. If I want something, I think for myself, I probably want other people to experience it too. So yeah, that's what I'm here. I'm here night and day. I'm happy to, open up myself if that's, and share about all the things I've learned and my thoughts, if I think that will help you kind of wrap your arms around me. Because, I've always tried to just wrap my arms around you and try to be the best I can, and hope that, this would all turn out great and hunky-dory. But at the end of the day, that's not something I decide. Whether you want to like us and want to support us, I think the only thing I can do is just show up, be here, do the best I can, tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing, and hope that, it kind of relates to you, can relate to something you're going through at the moment or something that you might be going through, and kind of just open myself up to that. I think that's kind of been my part of the journey, is to not shut myself off, which I've done for probably my whole life. When things don't go the way I want it, it's that pattern of shutting down, and I don't have the time to, as you get older, I don't think you have the time and the energy to, fight things off. You just kind of sometimes have to accept it and kind of deal with it the best you can. And through dealing with it, I just think there's a lot of like strength in there. And sometimes you kind of have to get to your lowest to see clearly, to see clarity of just how special, life is. And that's the gift, And so my gift to you is just to be here for you, and, and help you, hopefully, if you're not feeling that you're being heard or seen. That I hear you, and I see you, and I know that's might not sound that great, but it comes from a good place, it comes from an honest place, and thanks.